Welcome to AT. Good morning.
Good morning.
Before we get started, can we go around the room and see if there's anyone who would like to be lifted up in prayer? Okay. Okay. Ken Marsh. Okay. Anyone else? Okay. Let's start then with prayer. Lee.
Amen.
Thank you, Lee. This time we'd like to recognize a special guest. Special guest. Okay. You have special guests this morning?
Yes, sir.
Taking care of the technology. Gotcha. Commissioner Busby?
I'm here. Yes.
Very good. We thank you, sir. This time we will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
Second.
Moved and proper second that we approve the minutes. All those opposed, let it be known by the usual sign of aye. Opposed, ayes have, the motion is carried. Agenda item, pre-construction. Lee?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Item number 2, authorize the executive director to execute work assignment number 5 under the Bridge Services Master Contract with Michael Baker International Incorporated to investigate bridge construction alternatives for widening I-10 over the Pascagoula River. The listed project number in Jackson County. The amount of the work assignment will not exceed $652,375.06. Number 3, authorize the executive director to execute work assignment number 2 under the Bridge Services Master Contract with Pickering Firm Incorporated to provide Phase B final bridge construction plans for the replacement of 4 bridges on US 80. The listed project number in Newton County. The amount of the work assignment will not exceed $328,580.79. Number 4, pass condemnation orders on the listed parcels. Number 5, authorize the executive director to approve the listed preliminary engineering utility agreement. Number 6, authorize the executive director to execute a contract addendum with the following firms for the 2023 underground storage tank removal and remediation services master contract in order to extend the contract services at no additional cost from December 31st, 2025 to December 31st, 2026, at which time no new work assignment shall be commenced statewide. Number 7, authorize the executive director to execute a contract addendum with the following firms for the 2023 environmental consulting services master contract in order to extend the contract services at no additional cost from December 31st, 2025 to December 31st, 2026, at which time no new work assignments shall be commenced. Number 8, authorize the executive director to remove the listed local public agency from audit suspension. And number 9, upon receipt of all necessary documentation from the local public agency, request concurrence with the listed LPA recommendation to award the construction bid on the following project.
Okay. Question?
All right, Lee, a couple
Mr.
things.
Colwell.
One is a very general, and one's a little more specific, but in general terms on pre-construction, of course, I see a lot of activity in right-of-way acquisition and condemnation orders and things like that. My natural assumption is over the years, since we reinstated our capacity program, that we're able to beef up our pre-construction effort with right-of-way. Are we kind of where we were a few years ago, or are we beefing up those departments with personnel or contract labor? How we doing with getting things rolling?
Well, Commissioner, I think we're always looking for good folks anytime we have an opportunity to hire qualified individuals. Now, whether our staffing levels have increased due to the increased workload, that's in certain areas, I'm sure we have increased.
All right,
And
well,
then-
let's check into that and kind of see what we're doing. And then it doesn't have to be staffing increases. It could be that we've decided to shift into some contract labor too, but
Now, I will say that for sure, we've increased our contract work, but as far as staffing levels and where we were pre-capacity versus, being this far into the capacity program, I don't know what our personnel MDOT staff is, but I can say that we have increased some of our contracts.
okay. Let's talk offline just a little bit on that.
I can answer that question for you if you'd like.
Yeah, go ahead, Brad. Appreciate
With
it.
the raise adjustments that we've been able to make to salaries, what you've seen agency-wide is we've stopped the bleeding of personnel. I think I'm correct in saying that the overall increase in employees has not grown at some exponential amount. You have seen an increase in the amount of consultant dollars that we're spending due to the increased amount of work that we're putting out on the streets and the need for that. So, in short, I mean, we've stopped the bleeding of our personnel. We're picking some up, but we lose staff as well. So we've kind of leveled off pretty much in many respects. But you have seen an increase in the consultant dollars that we're spending that's totally due to the amount of work and increase in capacity program and other things that we're doing.
All right, good deal. Thank you so much. And the other thing, a little more specific, but I'm not worried about any particular person, company, or group, but I see these renewals coming in on some of these maintenance contracts and security, whatever they are, coming up. You just let us know if there's anybody that we're using now that has a track record that would have them not be renewed.
Sure.
When I know there may be a better deal coming and somebody else gets hired, but I just don't want to find out after the fact that ABC company or XYZ is they're putting in an offer, but we're saying if they've been working for us before and we're going to say no to them this time for some service level infraction or lack of ability to serve us. I just don't want to find out when we're hiring another company.
Get it?
That's it.
Okay. Thank you, Lee. Field operation, Jenny.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Item number 10, authorize the executive director to execute Class 3 supplemental agreement number 4 with Cook & Sons LLC on the listed project in Lowndes County. This project provides for mill and overlay and safety improvements on 12 miles of Mississippi Highway 12 from Mississippi 50 to the Alabama state line and 0.5 miles of Mississippi 69 from Frabachek Road to the Alabama state line. This agreement adds contract time to the project due to additional work added to the contract, including additional pipe extensions, slope repair, clearing, and ditch repair. This agreement adds 43 working days for a revised contract time of 274 working days. There's no additional cost associated with this agreement. Item number 11, ratify the following Class 2 supplemental agreements with APAC Mississippi on the listed project in Newton County. This project provides for mill and overlay of approximately 7 miles on I-20 from 5.1 miles east of Mississippi Highway 15 to 2.3 miles east of the Chunky River. This ratification will give the project engineer and district engineer the authority to execute an additional $250,000 of Class 1 and Class 2 supplemental agreements. Item number 12, authorize the executive director to execute work assignment number 8 under the Geotechnical Engineering Services Master Contract with Burns Cooley Dennis to provide topographical survey, geotechnical investigation, hydraulic and geotechnical remediation repair recommendations, geotechnical analysis, and construction document preparation for various erosion landslide sites on I-55 between the Hinds County line and the Lincoln County line on the listed project in Copiah County. The amount of the work assignment will not exceed $541,278.01. Item number 13, Styles Moving LLC of Golden, Mississippi applied for a certificate of public convenience and necessity as an intrastate restricted common carrier of household goods statewide. Interested carriers were notified, but no protests were filed, so a hearing was not required. Permits and Motor Carrier Division recommends the commission grant a certificate of public convenience and necessity to Styles Moving LLC and interstate operations transporting household goods statewide. And item number 14, award the construction bid per staff recommendations from the October 28, 2025 letting and the October 29, 2025 special letting.
Question or comments?
I'll just add one comment.
Commissioner Howard.
Number 10, a lot of times we get a heavy dose of criticism and not a lot of compliments, and I usually pass those compliments on to the district engineers and sometimes forget the crowd down here out, but that project number 10, had a lot of good feedback on that just from people who live and drive that highway. We'll pass that on.
Thank you. Thank you, Danny. Intermodal planning, Lee again.
Nice to see you again. Number 15, request approval to execute federal aid project agreements utilizing SPNR Part 2 federal funds for MDOT's participation in the following pooled fund studies. Number 16, authorize the executive director to execute a memorandum of agreement between the commission and the listed local public agency in order to establish responsibilities for the development of the following planning study. Number 17, authorize the executive director to execute supplemental agreement number 1 with Claiborne County Human Resource Agency for Section 5311 Rural Areas Program to support an increase in administrative costs for vehicle insurance through the listed contract number. The amount of the supplemental agreement will not exceed $57,588 for a revised total contract amount of $1,463,106 funded through the listed grant. Number 18, authorize the executive director to execute the necessary release of lien or other appropriate documents to dispose of the following vehicles. These vehicles were operated by a Section 5310 and or 5311 program subrecipient and have been disposed of in accordance with the Federal Transit Administration's property management procedures. Number 19, authorize the executive director to execute work assignment number 2 under the Traffic Engineering Services Master Contract with Neil Schaefer Incorporated to develop signing plan sheets for the replacement of horizontal curve warning signs in accordance with the most recent edition of the MUTCD in Districts 1 and 2, the listed project numbers. The amount of the work assignment will not exceed $481,813.92. And number 20, authorize the executive director to adopt amendments to the 2025 through 2028 statewide transportation improvement program.
Question, comments? Question, comments? Being none, thank you, Lee. Information system, Ben?
Morning.
One,
Morning.
Number 21, recommend concurrence with the Department of Information Technology Services to award the following. Item A, Environmental Systems Research Institute, or ArcGIS maintenance and support for a one-year term ending October 21st, 2026, at a total amount not to exceed $55,250 for planning division. ITS certified that Esri is sole source provider of this maintenance and support. And then item B, Flow Artificial Intelligence for a traffic signal analysis system for a 3-year term ending November 2, 2028, at a total amount not to exceed $455,700 for traffic engineering division. This procurement was competitively bid by ITS's contracting agent for MDOT.
question, comments? Question, comments? Being none, thank you. Administrative services, Alex?
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Number
Morning.
22. Ratify and approve payment of accounts payable in the amount of $21,444,459.19 for the periods of November 5th and November 12th, 2025. Number 23. Approve the payroll docket for the period of November 1st through November 15, 2025, not to exceed the sum of $5 million plus statutory withholding, state match fringe, and employee authorized deductions. Number 24. Ratify and approve ratify and approve the commissioners and executive director salaries and expenses for an aggregate amount of $17,375 plus statutory withholding, state match fringe, and employee authorized deductions for the periods of November 5th and November 12th, 2025. Number 25, in accordance with Alice G. Clark, Mississippi Lottery Law, authorize the executive director to issue a requisition for funds from the Lottery Proceeds Fund administered by the Department of Finance and Administration that are necessary for expenditures on lottery projects for the period of November 1st through November 30, 2025. Number 26, authorize executive director to execute a contract with the Office of the State Auditor and DMSS advisors and CPAs for auditing services not to exceed $25,000 for fiscal year 2025. This contract will be effective upon execution and will end on June 30, 2026. Number 27, authorize executive director to approve the following retired standard operating procedures. Number 28, authorize executive director to approve the following modified standard operating procedures. Number 29, authorize executive director to execute a service agreement with Commercial Cleaning Services for janitorial services for the Macomb headquarters office beginning December 1st, 2025 through November 30, 2026, with the potential for 4 one-year automatic extensions through November 30, 2030, for a contract total not to exceed $45,600 per year for District 7. Number 30, authorize executive director to execute a service agreement with Gulf South Janitorial Services for janitorial services at the Gulf Coast Regional Complex beginning December 1st, 2025 to November 30, 2026, with the potential for 3 one-year automatic extensions through November 30, 2029, for a yearly contract total not to exceed $10,560 for District 6. Number 31, authorize executive director to terminate the rental agreement entered on October 28, 2020 with Whitney Bowes for mailing equipment and maintenance to be provided at the MDOT District 3 office in Yazoo City. This action is consistent with the Section 23 termination provision of the agreement, whereas the parties have mutually agreed to terminate the agreement due to the wrong date and date. Termination shall be effective December 31st, 2025. Number 32, authorize executive director to execute supplemental agreement number 1 to the following original negotiated litter removal mowing contract for District 1. 33, request authority to purchase from the following agency and state contracts listed A through C. Number 34, request authority to extend the following agency contract for the period of December 1st, 2025 through May 31st, 2026, pending DFA approval. Number 35, request authority to extend the following agency contract for the period of December 1st, 2025 through November 30, 2026, pending DFA approval. And number 36, request authority to award to the successful vendors on the bid received on October 7 and October 15, 2025.
Question or comments?
Got one.
Commissioner Callaway?
All right, number 32, it's not so much for you. I guess it's more for the chief. And where we're extending these litter removal and mowing contracts,
Yes.
and I'm a big fan of that. What I haven't seen yet in our expansion of the mowing contracts is kind of getting some additional highways and miles. I mean, for example, in North Mississippi, we've had really good luck or good fortune with the current contractors. And the weather and things have worked out well, and the number of cuttings have been good. Adding a cutting is great, but I still had ones that we were doing with our own people where we're shorthanded, that were halfway through the summer, we were on our first cutting. And without a huge influx of people and equipment of our own, are we doing any expansion of those contracts other than expanding swath cuts to full cuts and additional cuts of existing miles? Or are we getting on some new highways that we're not able to get done with our crews very well? Have they talked about getting more of that done, or?
We in District 2 and District 1, they both have interstates have been mainly their priority as far as the contracted out cutting. There's some U.S. highways that might be involved in that as well, but they have been doing the state routes themselves. Yeah, as we talked about
That's where we're
before,
failing.
some of the state routes, if they are undermanned or under not getting the cutting that it needs, I have not been informed from the district that they wanted to pursue that, but definitely that could be some conversation we had. Are you getting complaints in those
Yes,
areas?
yes,
Okay.
we've had significant issues. And
Okay.
of course, you kind of assume Johnson Grass does what it does, and you can't control that. But at the same time, halfway through the summer, I was asking about some highways, and they said, well, they haven't been cut even one time yet.
Okay.
The summer was half over.
Okay.
And so,
I'd like
and
to,
I know they're not idling. I mean, they got things to do,
Yeah.
but
I'd like to
but,
get that information from what highways you're
Okay.
you're concerned with. We can go from there.
because it's in District 1 and 2.
Okay.
And it's just shortage of manpower. It's driving that.
Okay.
So if we don't fill it up with the manpower and we're not anticipating it's going to get done better next year, we're going to have to expand our contracts.
Okay. I'd like to get those highways from you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Earl. Thank you, Commissioner. No other questions, comments? Thank you. Legal, Judy,
Good morning.
good morning.
Morning.
Item 37, authorize the executive director to execute an ovation agreement transferring the cultural resources, environmental services, IDIQ master contracts, and the hydraulic engineering services IDIQ master contracts listed below from WSP USA Environment and Infrastructure Incorporated, formerly known as Wood Environment and Infrastructure Solutions Incorporated, to WSP USA Incorporated effective January 1, 2025. This is due to an asset purchase agreement between the consultants to include the listed open work assignments and any new work assignments that may be issued under the terms of the listed master contracts. Item 38, authorize the executive director to execute an ovation agreement transferring the 2023 underwater bridge inspection services IDIQ master contract from Consor Engineers LLC to Consor North America Incorporated, effective January 1, 2025. This is due to an asset purchase agreement between the consultants to include any work assignments that may be issued under the terms of the listed master contract. Item 39, authorize the executive director to execute the necessary releases and/or other documents to obtain unclaimed property held by the Mississippi Secretary of State in the name of the Mississippi Department of Transportation. Item number 40, request and authorize the Office of the Attorney General to commence all necessary legal proceedings against Pull-Apart of Jackson LLC and any other necessary parties for the removal of encroachments from the right-of-way on I-55 South in Hinds County, Mississippi. Item 41, Authorize the Office of the Attorney General to execute the listed work assignments under the title services master contracts with the listed attorneys and law firms to perform title services on the listed projects. Item 42, authorize the acceptance of payments for property damages in the listed matters and authorize the executive director to execute the necessary release and/or other settlement documents. Item 43, enter into an agreement with Marshall County, Mississippi to establish the respective obligations and responsibilities for coordinating the design and construction of certain infrastructure improvements at or near U.S. Highway 72 in Marshall County, including but not necessarily limited to medium improvement at Coopwood Road and improving Knox Road extension, and authorize the executive director to approve a memorandum of understanding or other appropriate document. Item 44, enter into an agreement with Marshall County, Mississippi to establish the respective obligations and responsibilities for constructing and maintaining a mast lighting system at the intersection of U.S. Highway 72 and Red Banks Road in Marshall County, and authorize the executive director to approve a memorandum of understanding or other appropriate document. And if it please the commission, I would like to add one additional reason to the request for an executive session today. I'd like to add a personnel matter. So item number 45 would read as follows. Request an executive session to discuss the settlement of a workers' compensation matter and a personnel matter as permitted by section 2541(7) of the code.
Any objection, commissioners? Okay. See? And you're requesting the executive session. Before we go into executive session, we'd like to just go around and see if there's anyone like to add anything. Commissioners, you have anything to add?
No, sir.
Linda? Earl?
No,
No,
sir.
I'm saying, Commissioner? Busby?
I don't have anything.
Okay.
Chairman.
Brant?
No, sir.
Do I hear a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Moving second, we approve the agenda. All in favor, let it be known by you, son of I.
Aye.
Opposes, ayes have the motion is
Aye.
carried. Tell me why we need to go into an executive session.
Yes, sir. We have a workers' comp settlement matter to discuss and a personnel matter to discuss.
Motion to go in for those items.
Busby,
Second.
thank you. Moving second. Then we go into executive session. All in favor, let it be known by you, son of I.
Aye.
We'll take a 5-minute break to allow you to say hello to your loved ones and then exit the room.
Hey, Lisa. I'm sorry. Balance right now.
Okay, so, the end of